Hi loves, happy Q&A Sunday. Yes, I know it's Monday. Yes, I know I'm backlogged. Maybe I'll come and do a video about why. Maybe I'll do one a day. Put up 5 videos in one day. See, it's possible. People like I can't record. Okay, anyway. So today is Sunday Q&A day. So I decided I would do a C-section question and answer. I make these questions up myself. You know, if you ever want to do a tag with me, you know, just let me know if you want to do a box swap or something. Just comment below. Alright, so my C-section question and answer is, how many C-sections have you had? I've had 4 successful C-sections. I had one in 04, 05, 06, and 08. My last C-section was in 2008. And I got my tubes tied after that C-section. How many planned C-sections did I had? I had 3 planned C-sections. 05, 06, and 08 were all planned. How many emergency C-sections? I had 1 emergency C-section, and that was 2004. That was my very first labor experience, and it ended in a C-section. What caused my emergency C-section? Okay, so I went in the week before. I already had preeclampsia, was on bed rest, and I wasn't dilating, and at this point it was more important that I get him out than he continued to be in there and cook longer. I was already 40 weeks, and so we went ahead at that appointment and scheduled my induction for that following Monday, which was June 21st, because Father's Day was June the 20th that year. So I went in that morning for induction, and they put a Foley catheter in, you know, to try to open up my cervix, because I was still hadn't dilated at all. It was still closed, still thick. So they put that in to see if it would help. I started having like really mild pain. No, this is a birth story. Anyway, anywho, I had a failed induction. Basically, my water broke. I was on Pitocin. The contractions were off the charts strong, and I wasn't progressing. I was like at 4 centimeters, and every time I have a contraction, his heart rate would drop. And so they said, well, we can continue trying to labor, and we can have a truly emergency cesarean where we put you to sleep and deliver your baby, or you can go ahead and have this emergency, but not quite as serious C-section. So I opted to go ahead and not be put to sleep and have my son. And so he was my very first and only emergency C-section. Okay, so my question was staples or steri strips. I am pretty sure I had staples twice and steri strips the other time. And the last time I had staples, I had staples and steri strips with my 4th C-section. My longest hospital C-section stay was 3 days, and then they were all 3 days until I had my son in 08. And then I stayed in the hospital for 2 days because of how quickly I recovered. You know, your hospital stay depends completely, it's up to you how your body recovers after your C-section, how well you bounce back. You know, if you can't get out of bed and you can't walk, they can't send you home. There's things that you have to do after a C-section before you can go home. Or at least that's how it was 9 years ago. So, how many weeks gestation at my C-sections? So, my son was 40 weeks and some days, my oldest. I want to say my oldest daughter was at 38 weeks maybe, 39 weeks. My girls were between 38 and 39 weeks, and my youngest son, was at 38 weeks. Because I had to have an NST with him, and he did really bad on his non-stress test, and basically I had it like that Thursday, and that Monday I was scheduled to have my C-section. So that's that one. Did I consider a VBAC? I did, but I have an elongated pelvis. I think. Something somewhere is longer than it should be. And so the likelihood that I would actually ever be able to push out a baby is slim to none. And they told me, well, we can go ahead and we can labor and we can do the 10 centimeters. And then if you can't push the baby out, we'll just cut you. So I remember at this point, I was not even a year past my C-section when I got pregnant with my daughter. I remember the pain of being in labor and what that felt like. And you're telling me I would experience all of that and try to push. And a good 80% chance I wouldn't push our baby. And you still cut me. So I said, go ahead and cut me. If you don't cut me, you might as well go ahead and cut me. And that way I ain't got to go through labor. So I never considered a VBAC. I strongly sat down and said, this is my plan, I'm doing a VBAC. No. My thing was, if I went into labor before my C-section, great and wonderful, I'd VBAC. If not, oh well, I'd have a C-section. One thing I wish that I knew about my C-section was how much it hurts when they push in your belly after you have a baby. Because they're pushing down on your uterus to make sure your uterus is going back down after you give birth. But you have a cut at the bottom of your stomach. So you have this cut and they're pushing on your stomach to make sure that it's going back down. Sorry, y'all. I have a puppy. I had to make sure he was still on his bed because he was quiet. He's asleep. So there is that. That is very painful. I would suggest if you're going to get your stomach pushed on, you push your little button prior to them coming in there and pushing your stomach so that way you have some pain relief. I always had somebody with me except for my very last C-section. When I gave birth to my son, I had 2 coaches there, and then I had family support come in. I had somebody from back home come up with me after I had him. My daughter, her aunt was there and was going to be in the OR with me, but because they couldn't get my epidural, my spinal wasn't for me to sleep. So I didn't have anybody. So technically somebody was there, but just not with me. And then when I had my youngest daughter, her daddy was there, his son was there. And then when I had my son, it was just me because I was like 30 minutes from home when I had him. So, and I was awake for 3 sections, asleep for 1 C-section. I will never, ever, 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 if I have to be having a C-section, allow them to put me to sleep. Now, anybody else can put me to sleep for any other procedure, but you're not fitting to cut me open. And then tell me once I wake up and I start feeling the pain and I feel like the needles in my chest, you're gonna tell me I have to cough and I can't cough because my cough hurts my stomach. Yeah, no, I don't ever want another C-section. I put the sleep habit. I just go to 40. I just go. We don't get big in this piece. So those are this is my C-section question and answer video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I answered some questions about a C-section. And I will see y'all in my next video, which is Motivational Monday. Alright guys, talk to you later. Bye.